Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Akakdash, Tabernacle to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to Akim, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. Your brother Yassad, back at you with another lesson on 35. Unto the house of Israel, mainly the elect. So this one is a the the Hama is exercising their might on Iran. Yeah, the Hama is exercising his might on Iran, right? Because this here basically, Trump send out his last warning and give Iran a couple of days to come to a deal, agreement for them to stop the nuclear empowerment and whatnot, or there would be heavy consequences, right? So I'll play this video here and we'll go into a bit of article.
All right, so the United States sending the world's largest aircraft carrier strike group to the Middle East, the USS Gerald Ford, joining what President Trump called. All right, so the United States sending the world's largest aircraft carrier strike group to the Middle East, the USS Gerald Ford, joining what President Trump calls a, quote, big armada. Take a look at our presence in the region as he continues to put pressure on Iran. This is a look at the Navy ships that are already assembled there, and it is an impressive armada, as the president calls it. He has warned Iran that it is time to cut a deal, stop their Iranian nuclear program, weapons program, or he says it will be, quote, quite traumatic, very traumatic. Senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich reporting live from the North Lawn. Jackie, you've got these negotiations going on, and then you have the presence, this huge military presence, to back it up.
That's right, Martha. And the president says he thinks negotiations with Iran will be successful. But according to the New York Times, the options Mr. Trump has been weighing include military action targeting Iran's nuclear program and ability to launch ballistic missiles, according to 3 U.S. officials. He's also considering options that would include sending American commandos to go after certain Iranian military targets, the officials said. All this week, President Trump has reiterated he would rather make a deal than pursue a military option. But something pushed him to redirect the USS Gerald R. Ford from the Caribbean to the Middle East.
The second aircraft carrier that you decided to send, talk about why you made that choice.
Well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it. If we don't have a deal, we'll need it. If we have a deal, we could cut it short. It'll be leaving very soon. We have one out there that just arrived. If we need it, we have it ready. A very big force.
It'll take about a week for the USS Gerald R. Ford to reach the Middle East when it leaves Venezuela. Today at Fort Bragg, the president honored the special forces who helped capture Maduro there. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made no secret that he doubts very much that Iran can be trusted to make a deal. But President Trump has also faced criticism over his decision to work with Venezuela's interim government after capturing Maduro, which he says is going very well. Martha.
Moments ago, President Trump spoke to reporters as he departed Fort Bragg. Let's listen.
You probably heard we're going to be giving one particular person the Congressional Medal of Honor for what just took place in Venezuela. And met a lot of people right now. We were there for quite a while, and it was beautiful. These are great warriors. These are great patriots. And they're in very good shape, I will tell you that.
Yeah, so this is basically the Hama, sending for that warning onto Iran, showing it forth his might. He just told the public, they had the warship and whatnot out there. If they don't make a deal, they're gonna use it, and if they make the deal, well, they will enter, ease off the gun on them. So basically, it's like Donald Trump pointing a gun at you there. Yeah. Again, yeah, little time, think about it. To my assumption, is either you make the deal or you don't make the deal, you're gonna have consequences if you don't make the deal. So that's basically they coming down with a might, Yeah, and hey, we know according to the prophecies, we know Iran is like the successor for the Persian Empire in the days of old, which is Iran, right? And hey, that is the Lord rising up that spirit of old, unto them leaders to reject and refuse that offer. So who knows how things might play out? Either they might make the deal or they might not make the deal. But we know for sure, according to the prophecies, Iran is gonna go against Babylon, in the future to come. Right? That's a Trump in this article. Trump Iran airstrike decision to be guided by Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff advice. And Trump's decision will be driven by envoy judgment on whether Iran is stalling on a nuclear deal. So here it is now. The man with the hundreds of guns having it pointed at you, and you now trying to develop a gun, and he telling you, well, here, scrap that. You don't make no guns and thing, But he now gonna be able to keep all his nuclear stockpile, warships, warcraft, all his bombs and whatnot. Come in. Yeah, so it's to show you. It's to show you, what his intention is. Doing that video. It is to show you what their intention is, They being the spoiler, they being the hammer, the bullies of the earth. And that time is coming that end. Right, as the scripture says, when they cease to spoil, because you see the vibration at the heading in. Donald Trump, I was taking the thing earlier on, about some some peace, more or less, is like some border of peace, set up. We have certain goals to reconstruct Gaza and all these things, where Trump is the chairman, but hey, we know that these devils, they up to no good. Wherever they looking to do or perform is nothing well, for the people, right? It's nothing well. So let's get into with the scriptures, right? I'll bring all this Ezekiel after, right? I'm gonna get here. The book of Jeremiah, (51:7). Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hands and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, her democracy, her rule of power. These nations, and he also, Babylon, subduing these nations with his might, until what? Until what? As the scripture says that, Therefore, the nations are mad. You know, he's sending tariff on nations who wouldn't abide by him and whatnot. You know, he has the power to even go into another man's country and kidnap a president. You know, isn't this the not the Babylon that it speaks of? Who is proud, as always speak proud of the military might and all these things, right? You know, he lift up himself in his brigandine. You know, what is the little defense, the defense system and whatnot, right? Jeremiah 51:3. I'll start at verses 1. Thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Right? And we know that destroying wind is those nuclear missiles. And I will send unto Babylon fanners, that they shall fan and empty her land. Metaphorical for the nuclear missiles. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And who are they? All these nations, even nations that are aligned and you see having the trade and the deals with Babylon, a lot of them is gonna turn on Babylon. Let's say against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not, for young men destroy ye utterly all a host. Because here it is, you know, Trump even talk about the Golden Dome, you know, that he wants to set up that it wouldn't be penetratable by nothing and all these things. Well, we know that time gonna come where that talk is gonna be in vain, you know, according to the prophecies. You know, the book of Revelation, you know, let's see. Alright, Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So all these different moves is Babylon's actions, you know, that causing these nations to pull away, you know, and you know, in that time they're gonna send nukes upon themselves, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua had put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Right? Now bring the Ezekiel 38. But this here is prophecy. Right? But there's a precept here in the book of 2nd Esdras 11, because you know it comes with a vibration, you know, what Trump is actually showing forth. You know, they carrying that same spirit of old, you know, because this is the ancient Roman Empire, you know, or the old Roman Empire. You know, they had that same vibration, you know, coming down, oppressing people with the heavy taxes and whatnot, you know. and you know, causing trouble for them that was at peace for them. Second was just 11 and verses let's see. Alright, let me start at 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. Yes, so he bear rule with a wicked oppression. And so long time dealt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth has not thou judged with truth, for thou hast what afflicted the meek, thou hast heard the peaceable. So them now who because look for Iran. In Iran's case, they don't want a war. They just minding their own business, doing what they do. But the US now, America find that, you know, and we know is offer Netanyahu too as a part to play in it, because for 30 years he have been coming with a vibration, crying out onto the bigger heads that, you know, Iran they gonna have nuclear breakthroughs and they see him as a threat and whatnot. You know, so we can't let that happen. It says, and destroy the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and have cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. It says, hey, you know, you cast down the walls. You don't place sanctions and blacklisted Venezuela and all these things. And you know, did it in all your best to deplete the economy through the trade and the oil and whatnot. And here it is now, wait a day, you're going in and you take the president, you know, and look, isn't this not fitting their characteristics? Yeah, let's say has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. Yeah. Because yeah, they boldly show forth their pride. You know, here this Trump with his speech talk about, you know, the win World War II, and if there's gonna be a World War III, they would win World War III too. You know, he mentions they are the biggest military in the world, and all these different prideful speeches. But hey, as the scripture say in 1 hour, verse 44, the highest shall also look upon what the proud times, and behold they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. So yeah, because this year in the time of the Alexanders and them, you know, the Lord took them out, right? The Lord took them out, and the same way how they is taken out, Babylon gonna be taken out as well by nuclear missiles. You know, because this referring unto the old Roman Empire. You know, and this chapter going into the Caesars and them. Yeah, the Caesars and them. You know, that bear rule. Yeah, correct. Let's see here. Right. Because it mentions about the different empires. You know, there's the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Grecian Empire, and the Roman Empire, which is our fourth. you know. And here we under the revived Roman Empire, pursuing to the Daniel, the second chapter, concerning the image that Nebuchadnezzar saw, that was broken down by Daniel, and the interpretation that was given as well. Right? Yeah. So yeah, let me get here now. Ezekiel 38. It say, and two, son of man, set thy face against Gog, and the land of Gog, which is Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus say the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. So the Lord, as the Proverbs 1:21, the Proverbs 21 speaks and says that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord has in control of the kings of the earth, and that is why the vibration pursuing to the hammer, the spirit of the kings of old is gonna rise back up in the earth. Isaiah 14. Right. Let's see. Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. So the spirit that was upon, King Darius, the spirit that the USSR had, anytime a World War I, the spirit on these men, a war and whatnot is raising back up upon the face of the earth, right? It's raising back up. It stirred up the dead for even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their throne all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, and thou also become weak as we, and thou become like unto us, because going back into that prophecy, Joel, the weak nations saying they are strong, A lot of these nations, having nuclear capabilities and whatnot. Right? It say thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy voils, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Because Babylon is being destroyed, the economy falling. It's like a shell just holding itself up together. They in heavy depths, all of these stuff. So we're back to the Ezekiel. Right, it say, and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So all your fighter jets, your warships, all these things gonna come out for war. And even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, so Iran. You are the ancient Persia. You are the successor of the ancient Persian Empire, basically. That the Bible speaks of. Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Goma and all of his bands. And the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Yeah, so hey, war is coming. That is why, hey, heavy and a great war is going to take place in the Middle East. The scripture talks about the least of the flock join them out, because Israel has a lot to do with what's going to happen and the great war in the Middle East. So hopefully this lesson was edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double and the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Until the next, Shalom.